Today's class we will discuss about pointers in C programming. Pointers are the very advanced concept in C programming. It's a very important concept also. The pointers in C programming is the today's topic. Every variable is a memory location, and every memory location has its address. So every variable has a own memory address. In that particular memory address, the variable is accommodated in that particular address location. If it is an integer, it occupies 2 continuous memory locations. If it is float, it occupies 4 continuous memory locations. If it is double, it occupies 8 continuous memory locations. So like that, memory will allocate based on the declared variable. In pointer concept, there are 2 operators are used, and star operator. We can access the address of the operator, address of the variable using AND operator. We can access the address of any variable using AND operator. It denotes an address in memory. It denotes an address in memory. It is a simple program for understanding the pointer concept. Int variable 1, character variable 2, it occupies 1 byte, it occupies 2 byte. Print of address of variable 1. Variable 1 is ampersand variable 1, and symbol is indicating the address of this particular variable. Address of this particular variable. Print of address of variable 2 is and variable 2. Variable 2 is character type. So address location of this particular variable will be displayed on the screen. The variable 1 and variable 2 are the 2 variables. It occupies some memory in your computer. If you want to know your memory address of this variable, know the memory address of this particular variable, then you can go for this statement and variable. Using printf function, we can use ampersand variable 1 using printf function ampersand variable 2. Address of this location and then address of this location will display on your screen. The address of variable 1 is DFF5A400. It is a hexadecimal number, and also it is also a hexadecimal number. So for that we have declared a %x for the variables. It is a control string that indicates hexadecimal. Control string x is used for hexadecimal number. So %x indicates the hexadecimal number. So it displays the hexadecimal value of this address location. The address location is in hexadecimal value. So the hexadecimal value will be displayed. So for that we are using %x, control string %x. Next, a pointer is a variable whose value is the address of another variable, that is direct address of the memory location. We can allocate the address of memory address of a variable to another variable. The pointer is a variable whose value is the address of another variable. Like any variable or constant, declare a pointer before using it to store any variable address. Before performing the manipulation operation, we can store the address of any variable. So we can use pointer. The general form of pointer variable declaration is type star variable name. Star indicates it is a pointer variable. Before using ampersand symbol, we have to declare a variable as a pointer variable. So for that declaring purpose, we have to put star symbol in front of a variable. The data type, any one valid data type, it may be integer, character, float, double, any one data type, basic data type, and then followed with the star and then variable name. Star indicates it's a pointer variable. Using this variable, we can access the address of another variable. Star indicates the address of a variable. That denotes it is a pointer variable. Using the pointer variable only, we can access the address of another variable. Normal variable cannot access the address of another variable. Pointer variable only can access the address of another variable. There is a difference between normal variable and pointer variable. If it is a pointer variable, using the pointer variable, we can access the address of another variable. If it is not a pointer variable, we cannot access the address of another variable. So for that, we have to declare a variable as a pointer variable. If it is a pointer variable, we have to put a star mark in front of the variable name. So for that, I am creating the variable star variable name. Type star variable name. It denotes it is a pointer variable. Using this variable, we can access the address of another variable, any one variable, and we can access the address of a variable. The asterisk is being used to designate a variable as a pointer. It denotes the variable is a pointer variable. So we have to declare the variable as a pointer variable. For declaring a variable as a pointer variable, put a star mark in front of a variable name. There is a syntax for declaring a pointer variable. Here is an example for declaring a pointer. How to declare a pointer variable. Int star a, pointer to an integer. It is an integer type pointer variable. Double star B, it is a double type pointer variable. Float C, it is a floating point type pointer variable. Character D, it is a character type pointer variable. So in front of the variable name, we have put star mark, asterisk symbol in front of the variable. It denotes the pointer variable. Using this variable, we can access the address of any variable. So further, we have declared a variable as pointer variable. How to use the pointers? There are a few important operations are there. Define a pointer variable. First, we have to define a pointer variable and assign the address of the variable to a pointer. Using ampersand operator, we have to assign the address of any variable to this pointer variable, and then access the value at the address available in the pointer variable. Access the value at the address available in the pointer variable. What is the variable we have declared as a pointer variable? Using that address, we can access the value also. So for accessing the value, again we have to put star mark. Again we have to put star mark in front of the variable. First we have to declare the variable. For declaring purpose, we have to declare the variable as a pointer variable, put asterisk symbol in front of the variable name. If you want to access the value of a variable, then we have to put asterisk symbol in front of the variable. For accessing the value and also for declaring a variable, we have to use asterisk symbol. If you want to access the address of the variable, then we can put asterisk symbol. So these are the two operators we are using in pointers: the AND operator and star operator. AND and star are the operators that are used to access the address of a variable and also declaring accessing the value of a variable. So these are the two operators: star and ampersand operators. Here is an example for you. So include SAIO.h is a main program starting at the header file. While int variable equal to 20, it is an ordinary variable. Int star IP, it is a pointer variable. It indicates integer variable, so IP, integer pointer variable. For that reference purpose, we have put star integer pointer variable. Using this variable, we can access the address of any other variable. IP equal to ampersand var variable. So IP, what is the value of the IP here is starting address of the variable var. Starting address of the variable var. It denotes the memory address position of the variable var. IP contains the value. That value is the address of the variable var. Address of this particular variable var. Further, I have put ampersand asterisk symbol and ampersand symbol here. Using asterisk symbol, I have declared this variable as a pointer variable. IP is a variable that is an integer type variable. In front of this variable, I have put star mark. This asterisk denotes IP is a pointer variable. IP is a pointer variable. Using this variable, we can access the address of any other variable. IP equal to and var and variable. The variable is the variable name. var is the variable name. Using this variable, we can access the address of starting address of this variable. IP equal to and var. IP contains the starting address of this variable. And then printf address of variable var variable. It denotes hexadecimal value, %x and var. So starting address of this variable will display on your screen. And then address stored in IP variable. IP is integer pointer. Integer pointer variable equal to %x IP. So what is the address? Address stored in the variable IP, the same value. And then value of IP variable. What is the value IP contains? Put star mark. It accesses the value from this pointer. IP equal to starting address of the variable. The pointer points the starting location of the variable. If you have put star mark, then access the value what is stored in the variable. What is the value stored in the variable that will be accessed using this statement. Putting star mark in front of the variable, it accesses the value of the variable. So IP contains the value 20 because of IP points the starting address of the variable. It points the starting address of the variable. So it contains the address of the location. If you have put star mark in front of this variable, then it accesses the value. Then it accesses the value. For that, we are using this statement. To print the value of IP variable that indicates star IP. Star IP indicates the value that is stored in the variable IP. IP already finds the starting address of the variable. Using that address, the value is accessed. It is a simple program to access the value and declare the pointer variable. If you want to run the program, then we can compile this program in Turbo C. To copy this program, use Notepad. In that Notepad, paste your program and then save your program. Save your program. That is Turbo C is in your C drive. Within C drive, Turbo C3. Within that folder, bin is a subfolder. You can store your program in this bin folder. For example, this is a pointer one program. Pointer one.c is the program name. Save and then go to the Turbo C. Turbo C++. Open your program in Turbo C++. Open your program in Turbo C++. Just wait, I will snap this window. I will snap the window for you. The window is snapped. So using Turbo C++, we can compile the program. File, open. Using the pointer one.c is the program name. Here is the program name. I would like to compile this program. Variable, integer variable contains the value 20. Integer IP is the pointer variable. Using this pointer variable, I access the starting address of the variable. Ampersand symbol. Using ampersand symbol, I have access to the starting address of this variable. The IP contains the starting address location of this variable. And then address of variable equal to what is the address stored here is. Here will display on your screen. And then next statement, address stored in IP. What is the starting address stored in the IP? The same value, variable starting address, the same value will be displayed on your screen. And then value of star IP variable equal to star IP. What is the value stored on this particular variable? Because IP finds the starting address of the variable. Using the star operator, it displays the value that is stored on the variable VAR. So I would like to compile this program. There is an error on your program and then see the result. Starting address of the location is FFF4 and the same address is also stored in the variable IP, and then value of star IP equal to, which is the value stored in the variable VAR 20. 20 is also stored in the variable IP. So this is a program how to use pointer variable and how to use star and ampersand operators. Star operator is used to declare and accessing the value of a variable. Ampersand operator is used to access the address of the starting address of the particular variable. Starting address of the particular variable. So this is the program. It is for how to declare and how to accessing and how to get the value and address of the variable. Next we move on to next topic. So next topic is how to use this pointer variable, and then again snap the same screen in our purpose. To the same program. We are on the same program in the compiler. Next. Null pointer. It is always a good practice to assign a null pointer, null value to a pointer variable in case you don't have an exact address to be assigned. If you don't know about the exact address location of a variable, then you can put null value or null pointer for that purpose. This is done at the time of variable declaration. While you are declaring a variable, you can declare a variable, the variable as a null pointer. For that, we can use int star IP equal to null. Then we have specified null pointer. The pointer that is assigned null is called a null pointer. The value pointer is a constant with a value of 0. Null pointer indicates the value is 0. The 0 or null. The null pointer indicates the value is 0. That is a point. There is a key value we have to remember. If it is a null pointer, then the value is 0. If it is a null pointer, the value is 0. That is the key point we have to remember using null pointer. This is an example for this. Void main int star ptr equal to null. The value of ptr is ptr value. What is the value? I have defined null. I would like to compile this program. So we go to the same procedure. Null pointer. I will copy the program. And save it on the notepad. Go for save option. File point one notepad. And then again I move on to follow the same procedure. Pointer 2 is the pointer 2 is the program name. I would like to save this program. I would like to save this program as a pointer2.c, and then I would like to compile this program in the Turbo C compiler. I would like to share this screen for your reference. Turbo C++. I would like to the screen will be shared for you. The screen is okay. The first statement is yes. Include the pointer 1. I have declared this pointer as null. It's a null pointer. It assigns null value. That indicates the null value is nothing but as 0. 0 is the null value. I would like to compile this program. The program is successfully compiled and run. Now see the value. The value of pointer is 0. Value of the pointer is 0 because of I assigned this pointer as null. Null denotes 0. So I have to assign the value as 0. So for that we have to declare as null. Without using pointer variable, we cannot specify it is a null. Then we have to declare this variable as pointer variable, and then we can put null value for the pointer variable. Null indicates we don't know about the exact address location of this variable. So for that, I have initially give the value for the pointer variable is 0. For that, I have given null value. This is a sample program how to use the null pointer. Want to be screen, we have the same the next value. It's not the same window. So now, after completing the null pointer, then move on to the null pointer. Then how to check whether it is a null pointer or not. How to check whether the variable or pointer variable is a null pointer or a not null pointer. So for that, we can use if statement. If you want to check whether the variable is a null pointer variable, then we can use if statement for that purpose. If ptr, that means ptr has some value. ptr has some value, it is not null. If ptr means it has some value that denotes either except 0. Except 0, it has some value. It may be either negative value or positive value. Either 0, except 0 value, either it may be negative value or a positive value. It contains some value. If PTR, if it is true, then it has some value. The value may be either a positive value or a negative value. That for that we can use if PTR succeeds if P is not null, or if not PTR. If PTR has not some value, there is not having some value. So for that I have checked not PTR. If not PTR means it is null, it is equal to 0. Further succeeds if P is null. Using these two statements, we can check whether the pointer variable is null or not. Using each statement, we can check whether the pointer variable is null or not. So next topic is a very, very important topic. We move on to the next topic, pointer arithmetic. Pointer arithmetic is the very, very important topic in the pointer concept. There are 4 arithmetic operators that can be used pointer. See the pointer, the operations that can perform using the arithmetic operations, plus plus, minus minus, plus and minus. These are the 4 operators we can perform using pointer. The pointer arithmetic, we can perform these 4 operations only. We cannot perform multiplication, division, modulo division. We can perform these kind of operations, plus plus, minus minus, plus and minus. These 4 operations only we can perform using pointer. Consider that pointer is an integer pointer which points to the address 1000. Assuming 32-bit integers, let us perform the following arithmetic operation. You remember that assuming 32-bit integer. We have already discussed the concept based on the 16-bit integers. Now, assuming that 32-bit integers, let us perform the following arithmetic operation on the pointer. PTR plus plus. It is a post increment operator. PTR plus plus is the post increment operator. After the above operation, the PTR will point to the location 1004. Starting address, what is the starting address? We have specified here is 1000. Now PTR plus plus, it indicates pointer plus plus. The next address, starting address is 1004 because of we have specified here is assuming 32-bit integer. If it is a 32-bit, normally if it is a 16-bit integer, then it occupies 2 bytes. If it is a 32-bit integer, then it occupies 4 bytes. So for that, the first data which is stored on the address location is 1000. What is the address of the next value that is stored on the next location? Means 1004. 1004 is the next address of the next value. Address of the next value is 1004. Starting address of the variable is 1000. If it is a 32-bit pointer, then it assumes 4 bytes. So 4 into 8, 32 bits, 4 bytes of data will occupy. And then 1000 is the starting address, plus 4 is the next data's location. 1004 is the next address location. That indicates the next data that is stored on this particular location. So 1004 is the address location that is stored on the memory. So 1004 is the address location that is allocated for the next value. Next value is after completing the location, after the first data is stored on the location 1000, move on to the next location 1004. Because each time pointer is incremented, it will point to the next integer location, which is 4 bytes. 4 into 8, 32 bits. So 4 locations, continuous 4 locations will be allocated for each variable. Every variable will occupy 4 continuous memory locations. Move on to the next topic. Here, if points to a character whose address is 1000, if it is an integer type, then it occupies 4 bytes. If it is a character type whose address is 1000, then the above operation will point to the location 1001 because of character occupies only 1 byte. Only 1 byte of memory will occupy by the character type. So next location will be definitely will be the 1001. So the starting address of the character variable is 1000. Next location will be 1001. Next, move on to the next because the next character will be available at 1001 because of it occupies the first starting location 1000. The character type will occupy 1 byte for storing the data. If the pointer is moved on to the next location will be 1001. 1001 will be the next address of the variable because the next character will be available at 1001 using this statement ptr plus plus. Next, incrementing a pointer. Incrementing a pointer. Before move on to the incrementing a pointer, you have to learn about what is the difference between array variable and the pointer variable. Array variable and the pointer variable. If it is an array variable, we can specify the array. For example, here is an array int a, one dimensional array with 5 value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for I equal to 0, the starting index position starts with 0. Starting index position of the first value is 0. And move on to I is less than n. How many values are there? 5 values are there. So index position, starting index position of the value 1 is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The end of the index position is 4. 0 to 4. Up to 5, if the condition will be tested. If the condition is true, then it will print all the value one by one. First a of 0, next a of 1, next a of 2, next a of 3, next a of 4. All the values are printed using this statement with the help of for statement. It is the statement that is used to print all the values that are present in a single dimensional array using for statement and printf statement. For this statement, example for this statement, a equal to 1 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The same statement, and then print up percentage d a of 0. It will display the first location's value. A of 0, the value will be displayed on the screen. And then a plus plus. Here is an error because of it is an array variable. We cannot increment the array variable like this. We cannot increment the array variable. We can increment the index position, but we cannot increment the array variable. So a plus plus is an error. If you are using this statement, the compiler will give an error message. We will test using the program. We will test this using the same compiler. We have to start this program, otherwise we have to run the program. And before that, I share the screen for you. So I go for new program as include stdio.fetch and then void main. I already told you in the last class there is not the header file is not compulsory one in C, but it is compulsory for C++. Integer a of equal to, it contains some value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. It contains 5 values. And then move on to next statement. Before that, I have to declare a variable, integer variable I, and then for I equal to 0, initial value 0, I is less than, how many values are there? Totally 5 values are there. I plus plus. This is a statement that is used for printing the continuous replaces the value of the value present in the array. And then using printf function, the control string used for integer variables, percentage d, and then give some space for next value, and then what is the value should be here, variable should be here, percentage d is given for a of I. Statement that is used to print the content without present in the array. I would like to save this program. So as array1.c. Compile this program. There is no error. It executes successfully. What is the answer here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is the value? What are all the values stored in the array? The values are displayed on the screen exactly. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, instead of using this statement, I would like to use the same statements. Printf percentage p, a of 3, a of 3. Instead of using a of 3, I put a of 0. And then move to a plus plus. Percentage p. So for this program, there is an error message, low value error, because of it is an array variable. We cannot increment the array variable a. We can increment only the index position of the variable. We can increment only the index position of the variable. We cannot increment the array values straight away. So this is the error that I have already told you. Let's say this in this statement. This is an error. We cannot increment the array variable. A plus plus, it is an error. We cannot increment the array variable. We can increment the index position only. We can increment the index position only. We cannot increment the array directly. So instead of using for statement, I have used this statement. We can run this program. It is an error statement. A plus plus is an error statement. We cannot, if you are trying to run this program, then will display one error because L value record that indicates we cannot increment the array position using this statement. That is an error. Move on to the contents. This is the program we have been discussed. A plus plus is an error. Next, move on to the next slide. Incrementing, using incrementing pointer. Incrementing operator is plus plus or minus minus. Decrementing operator is minus minus. First, we will discuss about incrementing pointer. First, here I have declared a variable max is the variable with a maximum value of 3. You remember here, const integer is the data type. If you are using const, the value cannot be changed. For the entire program, the value of the variable max cannot be changed. We cannot try to change the variable max. If you are trying to change the value, it will give an error message because of it is a constant type value. We have already studied about what is a constant. Constant is the value does not change during the execution of the program. That is the definition for constant. If it is a constant variable, we cannot change the value. So here, const integer max equal to 3. Max is the variable name. It has the maximum value 3. We cannot change the value of the variable max. Here, integer is the data type of the variable. It is an array variable. It contains some value. 10, 100, 200 is the value. Now, I declare another variable in pointer. It is a pointer variable. Instead of using, I put a star asterisk symbol in front of the variable that indicates the pointer variable. It is a pointer variable. Using this pointer variable, I access the address of starting address of the variable array variable var. Using the pointer variable, I access the starting address of this variable var. So var ptr equal to var. Ptr equal to var. Then for I equal to 0, I is less than max. What is the value for max is 3. I plus plus printf address of the variable 0, 1, 2, 3 up to maximum value 3. 0, 1, 2. The address of the variable will be displayed on the screen. Address of the variable is first variable. The first variable which is starting index position is 0. The value 10 is stored on the first location of the array var. Starting address of this value is displayed on the screen. The starting address of this variable is BF882B30. This value cannot be a constant. it may vary from compiler to compiler. The value cannot be a constant. This may vary based on the compiler. This value may vary. So starting address of the variable 0 is this one. The value of variable using star operator. Using star operator, I access the value that is stored on this particular location. So starting address of the variable is using AND operator. We can access the starting address of the variable. Using star operator, I can read the value that is stored on this pointer position. And then move on to the next position, pointer plus plus, move on to the next position. And then the value of I is incremented. Then test with the maximum value. If I is less than max, then print the address of the second variable, address of the value of the second variable. So what is the second variable's address? BF882B34. Why it is a 34? Because it is an integer variable. It occupies 4 bytes, 30334. Next address is 34. And the next, what is the next value? 100. The next value 100 will be displayed on the screen. And then move on to the next question. I value is incremented to 1, 0, 1 plus 1, 2. 2 is less than 3. Condition is true. Then address of third variable. Address of 200 and address data will be displayed on the screen. Address of the variable 200 is BF882B38. 303438. Value of variable using star asterisk symbol. It displays the value of the variable to 200. 200 is the value. It is the final output for this program. Now I would like to compile the same program in the Turbo C compiler. Then you can easily understand what will happen in pointer arithmetic while you are using increment operator. Now copy the program content. And store this program. Okay. Copy the program and store the program in Notepad. You use the same procedure. Notepad and save the file where the Turbo C3 is stored on the computer. It is stored on the C drive. And then move on to Turbo C3. Then move on to bin folder. Using that bin folder, you may save your program. Pointer2 is my program. Pointer2.c. Pointer2.c is the program name. And click save button. Now move on to Turbo C compiler. I will share the screen to you. Turbo C compiler will share this. I would like to check the program whether the program is saved in the Turbo C. We use the same procedure. Copy the content from the PowerPoint presentation and then paste it on the Notepad. Use file save as option. Go on to Turbo C3 bin. Turbo2.c is the program name. And click save. Now move on to Turbo C compiler. the program. Check. C++. Snap the screen to you. Snap the screen. Here the screen. Now I'll snap the screen to you. Now the screen is snapped. I hope. Open. This point to the screen. Now the program is, this is the program. The constant integer max equal to 3. The maximum value of the variable max equal to 3. And then it is an array variable. It contains 3 values, 10, 100 and 200. And also it is an ordinary variable. It is a pointer variable star ptr. Using this pointer variable, ptr equal to and variable maximum minimum. Program. This. See. See the program. Now I would like to show the same video. Start after C++, and then move on to this program. Point to this is the program. The screen is not enough. The screen is sound. Using the statement as include std label dot h. This is the program. Constant integer max contains the value 3, and the array variable var contains 3 values 10, 100 and 200. Now it is an ordinary variable. It's a pointer variable. It is an ordinary variable. ptr is a pointer variable. Now I would like to assign the starting address of the variable to ptr. ptr equal to var. Starting address of the variable var is assigned to ptr. For I equal to 0, I is less than max. So the value for max is 3, and then I plus plus. Starting address of the variable is I and ptr. For starting address of the first variable, and then first address location will be displayed on the screen, and also the particular value. Both are displayed on the screen, and then move on to the next iteration. It will display the second data address, and then display the second data, and move on to third iteration. Display the address of third value, and then data of the third position. This is the program that uses the increment operator. I would like to compile this program. There is no error. It's successfully compiled. The output is address of variable 0 is FFF0. I already told you the value, hexadecimal value is depends on the compiler. It may vary from compiler to compiler. The address of variable 0 is FFF0. Value of variable 0 equal to 10. Address of variable 1 is FFF2 because it is a 2-byte integer. It occupies 2 bytes. Address of variable 1 equal to FFF2 value of variable 1 is 100, address of variable 2 is FF4, and value of variable 2 is equal to 200. That is the final output of this program. I already told you the value of address of the variable may vary from compiler to compiler. It depends on the compiler, it may vary. So this is the program that uses the increment operator. This here is an increment operator. Using increment operator, we can specify what is the address and what is the value stored on the particular address location. This is the program for that. Now move on to next. Now move on to the next one. Decrement pointer. Decrement pointer is the next topic. We move on to decrement pointer. How to use the decrement pointer. So this is the program for decrementing pointer. The same program, instead of using plus plus, we may specify pointer minus minus. We may specify pointer minus minus. So constant integer max equal to 3, void main, and then integer variable contains 3 values in the program, and then first starting address of the variable is last value. Starting address of the variable is last value. And then print the address of the last value, the value that is stored on the last position, and then the value will be decremented, and then move on to next value. This is a program that uses the decrement operator. This one is using here, minus minus, and there is also this. This. Here is the program. I equal to maximum value. Maximum value is maximum value 3. From starting position 3 to decrementing the value 3 to 1. So for that, we initialize I equal to maximum, and then I is greater than 0. While the I value contains the value greater than 0, then move on to this body of the loop. Then I value, what is the value of I is max, that is 3. 3 is greater than 0. Definitely the condition is true. Then move on to the body of the loop in statement. Print the address of variable percentage d. First percentage d is for I. What is the value of I is 3. 3. What is the value of I is 3. Maximum minus 1, 2. So 2 is equal to pointer. What is the value? Address location is here is displayed on the screen. Address location of the value 200 will display for this statement. And move on to the next statement. Print the value of the variable percentage d. Percentage d indicates I value. I value is 0, 0. Variable 0 equal to, this percentage is for star PTR. Star indicates the value that is stored on this particular address location. What is the address location for PTR? 0, 1, 2. The second address position. The third value's address position is accessed here. Using that address, it accesses the value that is stored on this particular pointer. Then using this statement, it displays the value of I and PTR. Address and value will be displayed on the screen. And move on to the next iteration. Move on to the next iteration. Now up to 3, 2, 1, 0. These conditions are tested. It neglects 3 and then 2, 1, 0. 3 values should appear, and these 3 values address and the value will be displayed on the screen. So using decrement operator, here is the decrement operator. Using this decrement operator, we may display the value in descending order. 200, 100, and 110. These are the values that are displayed on the screen. You see here, address of variable 2 equal to, this is a hexadecimal value that displays on the screen of the value, and then the next address location, it is decremented by 1 position, and then move on to that particular address, and then read the value. Using star operator, it reads the value, and then move on to the last index position, and then move on to variable 0, that's address value is this, and then the value stored on this particular variable 0 is 10, because of the decrementing the value and moving from 2, 1, 0 to 1, 0, it displays the value accordingly. This is the program that uses the decrement operator. We will run this program in Turbo C++ compiler. Let us see this how to work. Now I would like to copy the program. Copy the program and paste it on the notepad. After copying the program, I paste it to the program and then use save as a save pointer. P.C is the program name. Pointer 3.c is the program name. I would like to save the program in the Turbo C3 bin folder. Now move on to start Turbo C compiler. I need to start the Turbo C compiler for you. Pointer 3.c is the program name. I open the program and then now I will start the screen to you. Now the screen is sad, I think. Now the screen is properly sad to yes, include as well as pitch. Using Alt Enter, the screen will maximize as it goes. A constant integer max equal to 3. The same statement, it is a constant variable. Here we will test whether if you want to change the value of max, what will happen, we will check here. So now the array variable contains 3 values. Now starting address of the variable is max minus 1. What is the value of max? 3. 3 minus 1, 2. Variable of 2 that indicates this position. This is the starting index position for the pointer variable. This is the starting index position for the pointer variable. So for I equal to max, from starting position max, I is greater than 0. I is greater than 0. I minus for that every value will be displayed on the screen. So first we have to compile this program. It is compiled and then it executes successfully. Now the starting address of variable 3 equal to FFF4. Value of variable 3 is 200. That means reverse order. It will display the value in reverse order. Address of variable 2 equal to FFF2. Value of variable 2 equal to 100. Address of variable 1 equal to FFF0. Value of variable 1 equal to 10. It displays the values in descending order. Now I would like to change the value of the max. What will happen? Here is the max variable. Now I would like to change the value max. Max equal to max plus 2. I would like to change this value of the variable max. What will happen? So here is an error message. What will be the error? Bad file name formatting into that exercise. This is the typing error. As include. One error will be there because of the constant value cannot modify. Constant modify a constant cannot modify the constant object. That is the error message. I am trying to change the value of the variable max. Max is the variable. It contains the data type int, but in front of the variable data type, I have put const. Const indicates it is the value, constant value. The constant value cannot be changed throughout the program. Entire program, it contains the value as max equal to 3. We cannot change the value of the constant variable. So we cannot change this value of constant. Instead of using this statement, here what is the value? We have already discussed in this program. The only thing is what will happen while I am trying to change the value of the variable, constant variable, value of the constant variable. If you are trying to change the value of the constant variable, it will give an error message. That is the key point you have to remember. comparison. Move on to pointer comparison. This is the next kind of operation using pointers. So pointer comparison is the another operation. Pointers may be compared by using relational operation. While you are trying to compare the pointer variable, the comparison operators are equal to, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. These are the operators that are called relational operators. Relational operators are used to comparison purpose. The pointers may be compared by using relational operators such as equal, less than, and greater than. If P1 and P2 are the two pointer variables that point to variables that are related to each other, such as elements of the same array, then P1 and P2 can be meaningfully compared. But P1 and P2 are referring the same array, but the values are different. These two are declared for same array, but the values are different. If it is first value, it may be second value. If it is second value, it may be third value. If it is third value, it may be fourth value. So continuous value can be compared using pointer comparison. Using pointer comparison, we can compare whether it is equal, less, or greater. We can compare using these three operators. Using these three operators, we can compare. The pointer comparison is another program. As input as the Erode constant integer max equal to 3. The 3 is the maximum value that cannot be modified. And then the variable, it is a variable, it is an array variable. It contains that same value 10, 100, and 200. The integer I, it is an ordinary variable. And star PTR is the pointer variable. It is an ordinary variable, it is a pointer variable. Using this pointer variable, we can access the address of the variable, any variable. We can access the address of any variable. And then PTR equal to VAR. The starting address location of the variable VAR is assigned to PTR. PTR is a pointer variable. It accesses the starting address of the variable VAR. So initially, I contains the value 0, while pointer less than or equal to ampersand variable of max minus 1. It compares the first value and the last value. It compares the position of the first value and position of the last value. What is the address location of this value and address location of this value? Both are compared, and then based on the comparison, it will display the value. Printf address of variable percentages I, it is 0. Address of the variable 0 is the address location, and then value of variable percentage D, first variable's value equal to the location first value 10. Value and address location of first value is displayed using this statement. And then move on to pointer plus plus I plus plus. Move on to next location. Move on to the next location and the next address location, and the next data will be displayed. And move on to the next location and next data will be displayed on the screen. The pointer comparison, whether the last value and the first value are less or equal. Comparing these two values. If it is true, then display the address location of the variable and value of the particular variable. This is the program used for pointer comparison. So apart from that, these are all the topics we have discussed in this class. Apart from that, some of the questions are frequently asked in gate questions. That questions you have to practice. Here, consider the following program in C language. C program, here I have given. Include, this is the main thing. And then I is the variable. Integer star pi. Star pi is the pointer variable for integer variable equal to and I. It denotes the address of the variable I. It accesses the address of the variable I. Scan of percentage D pi. We can get the value for the variable pi, and then print of percentage D backslash n I plus 5. I plus 5. The address location, starting address location of the variable is stored on the variable pi, and then the I value is incremented to 5 positions. I plus 5. Printf I plus 5. What will be the answer for this program? The options are: which one of the following statement is true? Compilation fails. If there is any error in this program, there will be no error in this program. Execution results in a runtime error, no error in this program. On execution, the value printed is 5 more than the address of the variable I. On execution, the value printed is 5 more than the address of variable I. That is, on execution, while execution time, the value is printed on the screen is 5. There is no value for the variable, but it displays here is I plus 5. The address location of I is added together and then 5. On execution, the value printed is 5 more than the integer value entered. So I is the starting address plus 5. Starting address plus 5. Which statement is true? Definitely the fourth statement is true because of on execution the value printed is 5 more than the integer value entered. So 5 values more than the I. I is the value. 5 locations is incremented with the variable I plus 5. So move on to second position, third position, fourth position, fifth position, sixth position. Move on to sixth position, and then the sixth position data will be accessed. On execution, the value printed is 5 more than the integer value entered. What are the value entered in the variable? That starting index position plus 5 is the final answer for this program. The program asked in gate question. Answer is B. The next question. What is the output of the following program? It is the function star ptr equal to 30. It accesses the value. Star ptr indicates the value. In main program, y equal to 20, function of and y. It calls the address of the location y. Based on the address, it goes to this statement. Instead of using address, here I specify star ptr. So it accesses the value here. It accesses the value. What is the value? 20. But star ptr equal to 30. What is the value reassigned? Instead of 20, it reassigned as 30. Instead of using 20, it is reassigned to 30. And then move on to the main program. Print of percentage d y. What is the value y stored here is 30. 30 will be the answer for this program. B is the answer. That is the answer for this program. And then move on to the next program. What is the output of the following program? Array contains the value 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60. PTR1 is a pointer variable that contains the starting address of the variable ARR. ARR. And then star PTR2 is the another variable that contains the ARR plus 5. That means plus 5. It is the starting position plus 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The last position. Last position data. The number of elements between two pointers are pointer 2 minus pointer 1. Pointer 2 minus pointer 1. What is the final answer for this? First starting index position of the PTR1 is starting index position of this array 0. PTR1 is 0. PTR2 is plus 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The last position. PTR2 ARR plus 5. Number of elements between two pointers are ARR contains the value 0, 0 plus 5, 5. The index position of PTR is 5, PTR2 is 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Starting index position of ARR is 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, PTR1 and PTR2. The number of elements between two pointers are pointer 2 minus pointer 1. 5 minus 0. How many elements are in between these two values? 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a starting value. From this starting value, what is the final value? 60. In between these two values, the 4 plus 1, 5 values are there. So 5 values are there in between two pointers, pointer 1 and pointer 2. Option is A. The next big question is void main array of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 star p equal to ARR. The starting address location is accessed here plus star p. The array location is incremented to 1 position and then move on to next question. P plus equal to 2 and then like to add p plus equal to 2. What is the final answer for this program? What is the final answer for this program? It contains the starting address of the variable ARR. Then incrementing one question to the next question. Instead of move on to the next question, and then p plus equal to 2. P plus equal to 2. What is the final answer for this program? Now, how many pointers are moved? 2 pointers are moved here. 1 plus 2, 1, 0. But starting the equation is 0. 0 plus 2, 2. Index position is 2. 0, 1, 2. Index position is 2. From this index position, the value will be printed. Using star operator, the value will be printed on the screen. So answer is B. Option B. Again told you, the starting index position of the variable p is 0. Here I increment the value of the variable p plus p, then move on to one location, and then p plus equal to 2. P plus equal to 2, move on to the third location. Then third location, what is the value here is 3. 3 will be the final answer for this program. And then what is the output of the following program? The same f is the function name, and I and j. I contains the value 0, j contains the value 1. And then move on to this function with the value 0 and 1. P equal to q. Now p contains the value which is already stored in the variable q. Q contains the value 1. So p also having the value 1. Star p equal to 2. Star p equal to 2. What is the value stored on the variable star p and q? So q contains the value 0 and p contains the value 2. This is the final answer. What is the output of the following program? Reads uses the text, and then star and star and star PTR. Star PTR denotes the first value, and it accesses the first location's address, and it displays the first location's data. It again accesses the first location's address. Again, it will access the first location's data. So D is the answer for this program. I again told you, PTR is the variable. Star PTR denotes the first data. First data from the first question is accessed. What is the first question here is G. G will be the answer for this statement. And then it denotes the access the address of this question. Address of this question G. And then access the value of this question. And again it G. And again it access the address of the question. Address of the variable G. And then it access the value of the variable. This was value of the particular question. So G is the data for this program. After no compiler, no garbage value, no runtime error, and the output is G. B is the option. Seventh program. What is the output of the following program? These are all the values. That is the floating point array. The pointer one access the address location of the first value, 12.5. And then float star PTR2 equal to PTR1 plus 3. PTR1 plus 3. 3 value will be incremented from the starting position. 0, 1, 2, 3 is the index position 90.5. And then printf plus the pointer 2. What is the value stored on the variable pointer 2 is 90.5. And then pointer 2 minus pointer 1. What is the difference between pointer 2 pointer 1? The difference is, what is the difference? What is the difference here is I have 5 now 0.2 minus 0.1. What is the value of 0.2 and 0.1? 0.2 and 0.2. What is the value here is 3, 2, 1, 0. 3 minus 0 that contains 3. The difference between 0.2 and 0.1 is 3. So 90.5 and 3 are the answer for this program. Answer for this program is A. So these are the programs that are frequently asked in GATE questions. You have to prepare these questions for your GATE preparation. It will be very helpful to you. Prepare well for the GATE preparation also.